Alex worked for his family's thriving tech company, but the constant demands and expectations made him feel trapped. He longed for a time when he wasn't the boss, just a regular guy. So instead of those stuffy business events, he found himself drawn to a trendy corner bar, the loud music, the casual vibe, and the fact that no one cared who his father was. It was the perfect escape. At the bar, Amelia caught Alex's eye. She wasn't the type of girl he usually dated. Her design knockoffs and expertly curated selfies were a far cry from the understated elegance he was used to. Her laugh was infectious, and she just seemed so real. For a few hours, at least, the pressure was off. He could just be Alex, not the millionaire everyone expected him to be. The more Alex got to know Amelia, the more he liked her. Sure, their social media dreams seemed a little unrealistic, but he admired their gusto. It was refreshing compared to the jaded social climbers he usually encountered. She made him laugh, made him forget, if only briefly, the expectations that weighed him down. Their unlikely connection surprised everyone. The aspiring influencer and the established CEO seemed like an odd match. But it was clear that they were smitten. Alex's friends teased him good-naturedly, while his family watched with a mix of curiosity and subtle disapproval. He brushed it all aside, and they soon began a serious relationship. Amelia, for all her big dreams, was undeniably down to earth. She juggled her bar shifts with online classes, always looking for the next step in building her brand. Alex found her determination incredibly appealing. Alex loved to surprise Amelia, to treat her to little luxuries. She wouldn't normally splurge on a fancy cocktail at a rooftop lounge. A new dress for her next networking event, seeing her eyes light up, filled him with a warmth he hadn't felt in a long time. One night, Amelia opened up to Alex about the guilt she felt over her parents losing their hard-earned money in a shady investment scheme. The stress weighed heavily on everyone, and she hated feeling helpless. Alex, who understood the devastation that fraud could cause, insisted on helping financially. He knew money couldn't fix everything, but maybe it could ease the burden, give her parents some breathing room. Amelia was reluctant, but her gratitude was undeniable. As the months passed, Alex and Amelia fell deeper and deeper in love. Their whirlwind romance became something solid and real. Overcome with emotion, Alex decided it was time to take the next step. One night, by candlelight and champagne, he asked Amelia to marry him. Her joyful yes was the most beautiful sound he'd ever heard. Alex wanted nothing more than to make Amelia's life easier. He knew how hard she worked, juggling everything, and saw how exhausted she was at times. He suggested she quit the bar and offered to pay her expenses until her online career took off. Amelia was grateful and excited about the opportunity to finally focus fully on her dreams. While most people were happy for her, there were whispers. Some called him a gold digger. Others mocked Alex for being blinded by her looks. Those who really knew her dismissed the gossip, but the negativity began to seep into the corners of Alex's mind. One night out with his buddies, the conversation turned to Alex's whirlwind romance with Amelia. Jokes turned into pointed questions. Come on, man. Is she really into you or just into what you can give her? His friend's words stung, playing on the doubts he tried to ignore. Afterwards, he couldn't shake her skepticism. Did they see something he didn't doubt that tore at Alex? His happy memories with Amelia felt tainted. Was she real? He needed a way to find out for sure. A risky plan began to form, a test to reveal her true heart, whatever the cost. Alex's hands trembled as he dialed Amelia's number. His test was about to begin. He told her the lie. His company was ruined. They'd been struggling for a while, and now the last investor had pulled out of a potential rescue deal. His fortune was gone. "We might have to put our wedding plans on hold," he said, his voice barely above a whisper. A long silence hung in the air after Alex's confession. Finally, Amelia spoke, her voice strained. "I'm so sorry. This is terrible." There was confusion and worry, but also something difficult to read. Was it disappointment? "I need to think," she said before abruptly ending the call. The call made Alex feel sick. Had he misheard the sharp intake of breath as he revealed the company's collapse? It wasn't exactly relief, but something unsettling. His friend's warnings rang in his ears, reinforcing the fear that he'd been a fool. Alex awoke to a gnawing emptiness. He immediately texted Amelia, desperate for reassurance. Nothing. Hours passed, each unanswered message adding to his panic. Had she already moved on, now that he was worthless in her eyes? When he called later, her voicemail was the only answer. Over lunch with his best friend, Alex confessed what he'd done. "I had to know the truth." His friend sighed. "I hate to say it, but I saw this coming." His words cut Alex deeply. He was torn between the fear that it might be true and the growing anger that he felt betrayed by Amelia. The rest of the day was a struggle for Alex, who decided to leave work early, shaken by what had happened. It seemed that Amelia had left him without a second thought. That night his phone buzzed, Amelia's name flashing on the screen. A wave of hope mixed with dread. When he answered, her voice was shaking. "Alex, I'm so sorry." I fell silent. "My phone died," and then she hesitated. "I was out all day dropping off resumes." Alex felt the blood drain from his face. Why did his voice come out choked, with a soft voice filled with genuine concern? Amelia explained to Alex. "When you told me about the company, I felt terrible. I wanted to cry for you, but I didn't want to make things worse." She hesitated, then her tone changed. A hint of excitement crept in, so I decided to do something. "I want to help repay you for everything you've done for me. I spent today looking for a job, and guess what? I found one." Alex, completely shocked and moved, immediately asked to meet her. The two came together in a warm and relieved embrace for Alex, who finally understood the motivation behind Amelia's behavior. It was a moment of calm after the storm. Amelia spoke of simpler times, insisting that love was more important than money. Her words, filled with sincerity, cut Alex to the core, and guilt washed over him. He'd put their love through a cruel test driven by his own insecurities. He couldn't take it anymore. With a shaking voice, he confessed his part in the company's collapse, explaining the desperate fear that had led to his deception. Amelia's eyes widened in pain. "How could you do this?" Her voice trembled. "I need space, Alex. I don't know if I can trust you anymore." She turned and walked away, leaving him feeling sick and ashamed. That night, everything played like a broken record in Alex's mind as he reflected on the relationship from the beginning. Amelia's laugh at the bar, her drive to build her own career. How she'd always treated him like a person, not a paycheck. How he'd been so stupid to listen to his friend's doubts instead of his own heart. He'd always wanted to spoil her a little, make her life easier. When Amelia's family fell on hard times, Alex was the first to lend a hand. It was then that he realized something important. Through it all, Amelia never asked for anything or took advantage of his generosity. She simply accepted the love and care he offered, showing true gratitude. Alex barely slept. He spent a sleepless night with heavy thoughts about how he had tested Amelia and the lack of trust he had shown. But giving up wasn't an option. He had to make things right. He spent the next morning searching until he finally found her, Amelia, who had jumped right into finding a job, even after everything showed that she was in it for the long haul. When he finally found her, Alex hugged her tightly. "Amelia, I'm such an idiot. You're the best thing in my life, and I almost threw it away. Please forgive me." Amelia saw the sincerity in his eyes. It wouldn't be easy, but love and a stubborn streak of forgiveness pushed them to take a chance. Their wedding day was no longer about fancy dresses or expensive gifts. It was a celebration of something deeper, a promise to face the world, good times and bad, side by side. Even when love got messy, Alex and Amelia proved that it's stronger than the whispers of naysayers or the rush to judgment. They stumbled, made mistakes, but because they clung to the truth in their own hearts, because they were willing to listen, forgive, and grow, their bond defied expectations. Sometimes the greatest test of love isn't hardship, but the noise of the world trying to drown out your own instincts, reminding us that true love thrives not in perfection, but in the hearts of those willing to fight for it. Love this story? Tap the like button and subscribe to the channel for more. Let us know how this story made you feel with a single word in the comments while you're at it. Check out the video currently on your screen. See you next time.